Hi, I'm Lovely, and today I'm going to review the third story of classic Doctor Who, The Edge of Destruction, a 2-episode arc. Spoilers ahead. Hi everyone. I don't have anything to say beforehand. Let's begin. Let's review The Edge of Destruction. Episode 1, The Edge of Destruction. God, what a perplexing first episode. Everyone wakes after the console explosion at the end of last episode, and none of them make any sense. They have slight memory loss that comes and goes, characters are seemingly possessed and faint at random points, Barbara sees a melted clock and screams before throwing her watch away, a moment that was focused on for a genuine minute. It was a really confusing episode. I'll save most of my thoughts for when we're on the second episode, since that's when everything is revealed, but I can at least mention a few thoughts I had while watching. So, because of all the stuff happening, Susan believes an entity got on board the ship and is hiding amongst the crew. Now that's exactly what I thought it was. The TARDIS doors were open because of the explosion, and whenever Ian tried to walk out, the doors would shut on him. I was like, oh, Ian is possessed in this moment, and the TARDIS doesn't want him to leave, right? Well, I will admit, I did rewatch Wild Blue Yonder before this, so I was in a paranoid mood. But no, that's exactly what I thought they were going for, and I'm genuinely kinda impressed that it wasn't in the end. Respect on the twist. Other things? We mentioned off-screen adventures. At first I misunderstood this and thought it was the whole crew that had off-screen adventures, which really confused me because I thought we got to see each adventure lead into one another. But looking at the wiki for clarification, it was adventures between the Doctor and Susan, with at least one of them having an audio drama made. Cool. Apparently they went to somewhere called the Fourth Universe, which obviously almost ended badly. Okay. Continuing, I noticed this almost immediately before even getting to the second episode. It really felt like we were just killing time. The episode so far had only been in 3 cost-effective locations. The actors were, well, acting like something is going on, when in reality, everything around them was just fine. I looked it up and found out that the script for the story was made in 2 days. It was either they made 2 more episodes to fill in an obligation they had with the BBC, or go off air for 2 weeks. So a story was quickly put together, and this was the result of that. Honestly, major respect to David Whittaker and the crew. I love whenever it's an underdog story behind the scenes. I may have not been into this episode on a first go, but I will say knowing the behind the scenes helps a lot in terms of respecting it. And also, the second episode improves it slightly. Let's move on to that one. Episode 2, The Brink of Disaster. The vibe of Episode 1 continues in this, but it is a slightly better watch once you start to understand what's going on. Before I get to the actual plot though, I want to mention the opening scene because I was genuinely shocked by it. Last episode ends with a cliffhanger. They show that the Doctor is about to be strangled. We don't know who it is, but from what we've watched we can deduce it to probably be a possessed Susan. The episode opens up, continuing the scene, and drumroll, it's revealed to be a possessed Ian. Damn. I was fucking really shocked by this. They got me. I also thought it might have been Barbara because of the whole throwing of the watch scene we had. She did seem kinda off. But yeah, cheers to the writer for getting me there. Congrats. As for the rest of the episode, I'm gonna talk about it backwards. I'm gonna start with what's revealed near the end of the story and work my way through all of the character stuff after. Okay? Okay. All of this crazy stuff that's been happening, the possessions, the faintings, the cause of all of this is revealed to be a switch that was simply left on. At the end of the Daleks, the Doctor turned on the fast return switch, and since then, time has been all kinds of fucked. Hilarious production semi-goof, in the scene where they point out the switch, above it in marker is written, fast return switch. Apparently, Carol Ann Ford and William Hartnell wrote it there in rehearsal, with the assumption someone would wipe it off after. Nobody did, leaving a hilarious sight. Anyway, continuing with the story, because the switch was left on, the TARDIS is pretty goddamn close to exploding, and believe it or not, it does not like that. It's revealed to us that the TARDIS is actually alive, something that won't get explored further for a very long time. And that all of the possessions and stuff going on was essentially the TARDIS's soul leaking out trying to warn everyone. When people got near the console, they would faint. When Ian tried to strangle the Doctor, it was because the Doctor was near the console. It didn't let Ian leave in the first episode because there was nothing out there to go to besides the void, essentially. Holy shit! It's kind of brilliantly written with a decent amount of good fake outs for what's actually going on. For a story that was made to kill time, and trust, it definitely did do that, it's not half bad. It's probably my least favorite arc so far, but I still found it really cool by the end. That isn't all though. I haven't talked about it yet, but in the first episode, the Doctor accuses and threatens Ian and Barbara. He thinks they're messing with him, his granddaughter, and the TARDIS because he hasn't taken them back to Earth yet. He even threatens to leave them wherever they are right now. He still believes they're on some random planet. He goes off on them. Barbara, after hearing my complaints for getting nothing in the last arc, absolutely roasts him back. Pause if you want to read this whole exchange. She fucking cooks him up, and I loved every second of it. It's interesting seeing the Doctor be the dumb one in a Midnight/The Well kind of situation. I like to think that Barbara had an influence on him thinking rationally in those episodes. Anyway, it takes until the end of the episode, but the Doctor does eventually apologize to both of them. I was worried he wouldn't, but thank God. Something I will say though that I think is unfortunate about this episode, there's this part where the Doctor believes that they're all about to die in 5 minutes. He calls over Ian while he tells Susan and Barbara to check out something by the door. He tells Ian, "Hey, there's nothing by the door. I just lied so they wouldn't know we're all about to die." Ian says, "So there's no hope?" And the Doctor responds, "Yes. I don't see any way out of this. Will you face death with me?" Now, of course, they fix it, they find the switch after and everything is fixed, but this moment to me really rubbed me the wrong way. I'd understand if the Doctor didn't want his 15-year-old granddaughter to know she's about to die. I'd even understand if he didn't want any of his companions to know this. But why does he make the distinction of letting Ian know, but not Barbara? You get what I mean? Ian and Barbara are both adults. Why does he get to know and not her? Why make the conscious choice to leave her out of this? Barbara is the one who saves the day in the story, so what's going on? I just don't like that it seems okay for the men to know, and not the women. I could be looking into it too much, but I wanted to at least mention it. Moving on to other stuff. I know because of the movie An Adventure in Space and Time that William Hartnell would mess up lines a lot of the time. I thought this would occur near the end of his run, but it's been happening all over the last couple of stories. I have no issue with it, it's just surprising is all. Anyway, we end the episode with a cute snowball fight and find a giant-ass footprint, leading us into the next story with Marco Polo. Overall, a meh 2-part story visually, but a kinda badass story on paper. It gets my respect. Let's move on to the outro. Thank you everyone for watching. I can't really say when I'll do another review because the upcoming story is our first missing one, Marco Polo. I'm hoping there's a decent reconstruction, even one that's not official, but we'll have to see. I can't comment on the future of the series just yet. I just know if I continue the reviews, it'll be a while from now since the stories ahead of us are long. Anywho, if you want to watch any of my other Doctor Who related content, it will all be linked in the description. I'm Lovely. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye. This was a 19-minute recording. This was supposed to be a short episode. Jesus Christ. And I'm sweating again. Fuck.